Good evening, happy hump day. It is Wednesday. It is day 38, 22, 44, who knows of quarantine. And I don't know about you, but I am ready for a drink. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you will have a drink with me. Today was a pretty good day. I braved a trip to the grocery store. Apparently this morning Massachusetts issued a new regulation where grocery stores need to be capped at 40% capacity. And so they're basically metering people from going in until people leave to keep it at a low capacity, which I think is the right thing to do and good. But what it meant was there's this huge line outside just waiting to get in. So I got in line. It was hard to gauge how long the line was because everybody is spaced out in 6 feet. And it took probably 45 minutes for me just to get into the store. So definitely extended my shopping trip, but I think it's the right thing to do and the safe thing to do. I had my mask on. Got me thinking about I had to figure out all the mask protocols that I wanted to do. So I brought the mask with me in the car, drove to the store, parked, then put the mask on. Went, did all my shopping, tried my best not to touch it at all, and then came back out, unloaded everything into my trunk, hand sanitized, opened my door, sat down, took my mask off, and put it on my front seat. I don't know if that was the right thing to do or not, and then now I don't know what to do with it. It's like this potentially infected mask. It's just still sitting in the front seat of my car. I guess it needs to go into the wash. How do I get it from there to the wash? All these issues. In any case, I'm ready for a drink. Today we're going to be having a Little Italy, which is a great drink, one of my favorite drinks. The last few nights we've been doing drinks that are kind of citrusy, sweeter, so I'm excited tonight to get something that is brown and boozy and stirred. This will be our first stirred cocktail of the week. So the Little Italy is named such for two main reasons. First is that it is after the Little Italy neighborhood in Manhattan, and it combines American and Italian ingredients in the form of Cynar, which is being featured in this drink, as well as Italian sweet vermouth, along with American rye. So the first sort of genesis of its name comes from that merging of Italian and American, and the second is that it's a play on a Manhattan, Little Italy being a neighborhood in Manhattan, obviously. So let's dive in. Those of you who aren't familiar with Cynar, it has become one of my very favorite drinks. It's a bittersweet liqueur, an Amaro. We'll talk a lot about Amaro in the coming weeks, I'm sure. But it is basically, has some bitterness, has some sweetness to it. It's a low ABV, just 16.5% alcohol by volume. Love the logo. The logo is an artichoke. And in fact, Cynar, the name, comes from the Latin scientific name for artichoke, which I can't remember right now, but it's like Cynaris sicorosis or something like that. So that's where the name comes from. Not the Italian word for artichoke, but it comes from the Latin genus of the artichoke plant. So that's pretty cool. So let's dive in. So if you think of a Manhattan you would have rye and sweet vermouth. Basically with this cocktail we're just subbing out some of that sweet vermouth for the Cynar, which will make it a little bit sweeter, and also give it some more depth of flavor and also a little edge of bitterness, which is my favorite part of it. I'm going to be making a double batch because Helen indicated she's interested in partaking this evening. Let's see if we have enough in this bottle. So each drink is going to be 2 ounces, which means I'm going to double it for 4. Will it be enough? Is it enough? Oh yeah. A little left over. Don't worry, I have 2 more bottles in the cupboard, so if you're stressed about that or anxious, don't be. We're all good. We're all good. And now, if I were making a Manhattan, I like mine with a good punch of sweet vermouth. So I probably do 2 ounces of rye with 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. Here, basically, I'm vermouth to 3/4 of an ounce, and then add 1/2 ounce of the Cynar. Made on the 29th of March. So this will stay good in the fridge for a couple weeks, although it never lasts that long. Whew, I love my sweet vermouth. We can talk more about that at another date also. So I'm going to take 3/4 of an ounce, and actually I'm going to double it for 1.5 ounces for 2 drinks, but it'll be 3/4 of an ounce per drink. Beautiful. And last but not least, the Cynar. Which is going to be 1/2 ounce per drink, which I'm going to double to 1 ounce. And I'm going to garnish these with the Luxardo cherries, which I've talked about before, are just amazing, amazing product and garnish. And I think I'm actually just going to add a little bit of the Luxardo cherry syrup right into my drink, just for a little bit of depth of flavor there. That'll be real nice. Wonderful. So those of you who have taken my Intro to Cocktails course will of course know that we are going to stir this drink, not shake it. We shake drinks when we have different viscosities that we're trying to emulsify. We stir drinks when that isn't necessary, and stirring helps us to preserve the clarity of the drink. So things, basically, if it has citrus in it, or a lot of like weird syrups, you're going to want to shake it. But if it's more just spirits, we are going to stir. Let's get at it. Such a nice brown color. You know, I love a good brown drink, a good brown whiskey drink. Get it nice and cold. Basically, coldness and dilution happen in proportion to one another, so we're doing both of those things right now. We are making the drink. You can get it just as cold with stirring as you can with shaking. It'll just take longer, but normally we don't want to make it go down that much. All right. So we have our drinks. Got my julep strainer here. I'm just going to try to evenly pour into my 2 glasses. I'm using a nice little coupe glass for these, which I think are just real cute and classy. Very, very nice. And last but not least, we will add our Luxardo cherry garnish. Because these are trying times, I'm going to go with 2 per drink. Just like that. Oh, some of these juices are going to sip right in there. Just like that. Let's do one more. Fishing for cherries. Right. Like a little bit of separation there. Oh, nice. How does that look? Is that just beautiful? Very nice. So let's give this a try. So we've got our Little Italy cocktail. Cheers. Really well balanced, but also you can taste all the individual flavors coming through. Can't say enough great stuff about the Rittenhouse Rye. If you're not buying this, you're doing it wrong. It's 100 proof. It's like super spicy, has that extra alcohol kick, which is just great in a drink like this. And it really holds up to the stronger flavor, a bit of extra bitterness. And then the sweet vermouth brings a little bit of like a floral character to it, and a little bit more like sweetness and brightness, so it's not totally just like a dark and dreary cocktail. This is a great way to celebrate a Wednesday evening. Just gonna dip one of these cherries a little bit and take a taste. These cherries, they're pretty sweet, but they have this like deep, hearty flavor to it. It's like almost like an umami like quality that is just so good. It's made with syrup from Marasca cherries. That's where the name maraschino comes from. That's fantastic. Well, I hope that you are also enjoying a beverage, cocktail, beer, wine, scotch, shots, whatever you need to make it through the day, make it through the week. Thank you for joining me for this cocktail tonight. Thank you for drinking with me. We will see you again back here, same time, same place, tomorrow night, 5 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock UTC. Cheers.
You're stuck at home.